Hi, Professor. Hope you're doing good. This is the weekly development project status report for Group 3, and we'll be talking more about our life client, Jordan College, and the project is HSCS Free Field Placement Community Phase 2. So let's just first go through the contents that we'll be going through today. So we'll give an introduction of what our project is, which will include about the HSCS community field placement, our team, what our team members are, it consists of and what our roles are. So we'll give a project overview, a little bit background and introduction, and then we'll go into a little more detail into the progression of what we have been doing for the past 2 semesters for this project, which is we'll walk through requirement phase, design phase, development phase. Then we'll also talk about some issues and challenges we faced during the project and what we did to overcome those issues and how frequently we have been communicating with the client. It will also include a live demo of what we have been doing in Python, and then finally the link to the presentation. So what essentially is HSCS about? So HSCS stands for Human Safety and Community Service, and the project is about a field placement community pulse dashboard, which aims to increase the automation of the dashboard. So essentially, this project builds on the success of the first phase of this project where the team, essentially the team did was uh, they were able to represent in a dashboard information of all the agencies, the number of vacancies each of these agencies have, and for what all courses do they have any open positions. So with phase two, we aim to enhance the functionality of the dashboard and at the same time add new functionality to it. So our team consists of 3 members, Arsha Unithan, which is the team lead, and then myself, Nishant Gupta, I act as a data analyst, and then finally Pranali Karande, and she is a developer of our team. So that were the initial roles defined for each one of us, but also at the same time we wear multiple hats and we jump in to help each other out. So essentially every team member takes part in pretty much everything we did for the project. So a little bit of background. So phase one was a huge success, but it also had some limitations due to which the client chose to move forward with phase two of the project. With phase two, we aim to enhance the functionality of the phase one dashboard, add new capabilities to it, and at the same time add more data into Power BI and be able to represent information in a better way. Project introduction. So the objective of this dashboard and if this project is to improve the client's ability to manage and track field placements for students across 4 different Georgian college campuses. So essentially, the initial scope of the project was to yeah, automate the flow of information from Georgian Connect to the Power BI dashboard. But unfortunately, due to some limitations, some API connectivity issues with Orbis, which is a third-party supporter who takes care of all the backend stuff at what happens in Georgian Connect, we were not able to do that. So we shifted our focus to one of our other deliverables, which included web scraping the information from Ontario to one website, and then we compared this information with the manual data shared with us by Georgian College to showcase what potential agency partnerships opportunities the college has and to show a percentage of how many agencies they have already collaborated with and what more agencies they can reach out to. The college confirmed they are mainly interested in 3 areas, that is Brampton, Mississauga, and Newmarket, and that's what we have focused more on during this project. So this is roughly the progression of the project. It started from requirements gathering, then we created a project charter and proposal. We had a client approval for that, and then we started collecting the data set, did a little more research about what the project is like and if we need any additional data sets. Then we started web scraping from Ontario to one website, clean the data set using Python, Pandas libraries, search for any additional data sets. We were able to model the data in a way that we can represent it in Power BI. And finally, filtering and sorting out the data. We are in the process of building the visualizations, which my team members will talk more about in a bit. So Pranali Karande will be taking over the presentation from here on. Thank you.
Hi, Professor. This is Pranali Karande, and I'll first of all I'll be talking about the requirement phase of our project. So, in the initial phase, we discussed what all deliverables are expected from us with the client, after which we had an internal team meeting and discussed what all deliverables are in and out of scope for us. Some of the deliverables included some additional filters to the dashboard. For example, the term like fall, winter, and summer, and the population categories, uh, which included seniors, community services, etc. In addition to this, there are some other filters as well. For the next step, we created project charter and project proposal, and we got the client approval by 6th of May, around 6th of May. For the next step, we received a data set by our client about the which consisted the information about the agency partnerships that they currently have. It's a static data in an Excel sheet. So let's take a look at our data set. So here they have provided the name, industry partners, the location of the agency, the program and the term of the program, and the population category. In addition to this, they also wanted to connect uh, the data from, they wanted to connect Georgian Connects to our Power BI dashboard. Next, the design phase. So one of the deliverables was to pull the data from Ontario 211 website for the potential agency partnerships in the future. So, Ontario 211 is basically a website which connects people with reliable information on local community and social services in Ontario. So, we had to pull the uh, agency partnerships that we can have from three specific locations, that are Newmarket, Mississauga, and Brampton. Yeah, so let's take a look at the website. So, for pulling the data from Ontario 211, we have two specific filters. One is the location, and the other one is the keyword. So, we had three main locations that we needed to focus on, that is Newmarket, Mississauga, and Brampton. So, first, let's search for Newmarket. Here, our keyword is employment for the purpose of web scraping, basically. After searching, we can see that our keyword is mentioned either in the title or the subtitle, or in the name of the agency or the subtitle. So here we have list of agencies in the new market area. We can use this information for the potential agency partnerships with the college, which can help the students gain more employment opportunities and also the co-op opportunities. Yeah, so we have done the same thing for all three of the locations and pull the data through web scraping. The web scraping part will be explained by Arsha. Thank you.
Hello, this is Asha speaking, and I'll be taking over the presentation from here on out. So, as Pranali mentioned, the criteria for what was required of Ontario 211, two things had to be kept in mind. One was the location itself. We had three locations, which is Mississauga, Brampton, and Newmarket. And the other thing was agency specific information that was relevant to what the client required. While we were going through the site, we found that the term employment was most the the data that we got with the term employment was most accurate to what the client required. So that was what we specifically used for scraping the data. So when we use Beautiful Soup, we specifically mentioned, initially we mentioned the term employment as such, and then we tried to scrape it. But since we needed the information from three different location, we changed the URL itself in such a way that the term employment is present in the URL, and we could scrape the data directly from there. And using that, we ran our code without much issues. And this is the scrape, the initial or the first part we did. We scraped the data directly from the three URLs, that is the three websites, you could say, and it was saved into our local directory. Following which, this data needed to be cleaned. When we went through the data, we found that there were some things that did not look um, good. For example, one of the things was that the phone number specifically had the words office or office phone number, things like that mentioned. And in the address, the postal code was part of the address. We thought it would be better if we gave that as a separate instance, a separate column itself. Along with that, things like the title was some of the titles had a little bit of white space in it. So these specific things were kept in mind as criteria while we were doing data cleansing. So first thing we did was import pandas library, and we also use the requirement library, both of which we use usually for data cleansing and structuring the data so that it is more visually pleasing for whoever is trying to read that specific data. And again, what we did is like, uh, the initial CSV file that was downloaded, that was scraped from the directory, we have re-uploaded it back in Python, and we've used that CSV file and we scrape the data from there, which is a faster method of doing it. And we also, one other thing is that we also made sure the phone numbers were kept as digits. That is another reason why we removed the words phone number or office phone or office etc. From the data. And we were able to get a much better result of what we had, from what we had initially got. So this is what the cleansed data looks like. This is the phone number and things like that. And this is the file. So I showed, okay, so this is a live demonstration of me running the codes that we had created, and this is the file saved locally. So what we'll be doing is we will be we will be using these files to create the dashboard KPIs. So some of the things that we'll definitely be including is the heat map, a percentage to showcase how much partnership the college has, and we also need to include some additional keywords. So additional keywords will be in terms of Georgian Connects. Yeah, so this is the next step. Creating the dashboard is obviously the next or the final step, where we are implementing all of things that we have done so far and creating a final visual that is easy for the client to understand and interact with. And some of the challenges we obviously faced is um, limited access to Georgian Connects, and we're not able to get the data and certain information right on time. But as of now, we have overcome all of that, and we do have a weekly communication report with the project sponsor and within the team. We also have bi-weekly meetings with the client as well. Now, as for the project closeout, on the project closeout day, before that, we will be done with the project, the data visualization itself. And this will have the aspects of phase one. integrated with phase two, what we will be doing, we will make changes to the initial data visuals so that we are able to integrate whatever we have done in phase two, uh, in such a way that it is easier for client to understand what they've asked from us, and we're able to deliver it properly. So that's it from our end. Thank you.